Welcome back to WSAV News 3 today at 11. It is Friday, and that means it's time for another installment of A Dash of That with our favorite decorated food and culture journalist, Martina Yvette Allen. Today, she takes us to a celebrated modern steakhouse in Savannah, Marbled Fin.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, first of all, this restaurant comes from the team behind some of the Southeast's most notable concepts, including Husk, Monero, Delaney Oyster House,
Absolutely.
and the James. We're talking about the neighboring dining group.
Yes, so this is definitely one of their newer companies. So Marbled Fin is already a flagship company that is in Charleston, and now Savannah has its own location, and it's serving up the very best of the Little Country area while also staying true to the French technique that is actually brought into play by Chef Jesse Klosky himself.
Oh, oui.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so this is a very new restaurant
It
here, though, only
is.
a month old.
Only 1 month old, a very shy aged restaurant, but for the most part, they do have those classic gems. So if you are from the Charleston area, you've been to Marbled Fin before, you may have basically already experienced some of those notes. So what they do is they actually have a creative way of actually introducing the newer palate to more sensational qualities of steaks in the Chop House.
And that Charleston restaurant is a baby itself, only 2
Yes,
years old.
absolutely.
So this place is breaking the mold of a traditional steakhouse. How so?
It is. One of the things that they are breaking the mold with is basically, again, with the global sourcing. So a lot of their Wagyu comes from Australia and Japan, and they want to be able to bring in those global notes to a more aesthetic and a pleasing establishment. So they do a lot of wet age, and dry age processing of their steaks.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's first, before we get to the chef, talk about the general manager, Donald Krell, who says he's chef-driven.
Yes, he is a very chef-driven person and very much dedicated to their beverage program. He talked a lot about the hidden notes and how they want to play on the concept of you could come here and get a martini, but it will be a Marbled Fin martini. So it's an elevated note, a lot of accoutrements, a lot of bitters. They talked a lot about their typical riff on the old-fashioned and how they actually encompass 3 different bitters in that one, which is very unconventional. So they want to be able to bring in a newer note to a palate that you probably already established.
So now let's get on to the chef, because he says that everyone has an emotional tie-in to the menu, and too often steakhouses cut corners. We like to add a little unexpected touches.
Yes, absolutely. And I think a lot of the unexpected touches that people will want to see more so of is the fact that they try to elevate the palate, and I mean as far as making things a little bit more gigantic than normal. Which I read
about the wedge salad.
Yeah,
right?
the wedge salad, the martini, the traditional take of the martini, even like the shrimp cocktail, which we tried, and you'll see that pretty soon as well. All of those different notes are very magnified, and so it is basically a sharing plate. It's a way for you to experience it with friends and to have a nice conversation over dinner.
I like sharing plates. The
Yes,
problem is my
absolutely.
husband does not. So let's get to the food. Let's take a look at what we have on the menu there.
Okay, so this was one of our starters. This was the char grilled oysters with a bone marrow. And you know I love me a good bone marrow, so I had to know what it tasted like. So they have that little nice herb and garlic mixture on top. I love the fact this bone marrow actually is true. You could definitely tell that it's more of a drier aged process. It doesn't have a lot of the fattier notes that we're used to with bone marrow, but it accompanies well, and it also comes with a tiny piece of croutons. The char grilled oysters were actually extremely huge. They're from Bird's Allen. And the way that they encompassed it with a little bit of the breadcrumbs and the garlic and the butter made for a delicious dish, and just, place them all together, and I was good to go.
Oh my goodness, it looks delicious.
It really does.
Now what is this?
Now this is the signature. Now if you do go here, there is going to be a lot of different sides, and this one is probably the one that is going to be the go-to. So this is the cream corn, and it is not like your grandma's cream corn that you had with pork chops. This is way different. So the very bottom of it is going to be a cornbread finish, which I thought was pretty interesting. It's sweet kernels, mozzarella. It doesn't have like the creaminess to it. The creaminess actually comes from the cheese. So this was a very great dish, and it accompanied well with the side of spinach that we also have for the day as well. Next is maize milk bread. So this is a saltier note. I really love the experience
Kind
of
of like
this
a pretzel?
bread.
No?
Well, not necessarily. It's almost like a Irish, like a soda bread that kind of meets like a butter roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would definitely say the salted butter in general definitely elevates it. It gets that nice little crunch to it. I really appreciate this bread. And to be honest, where you already have the complimentary note, because they give you a complimentary pate, is the mushroom pate that you have. It kind of just creates a whole different experience. If you get the bone marrow, you already have the homemade croutons with it. So you can always bypass this, or you can also add it as a part of the experience as well.
Okay.
And so the next note is going to be those shrimp cocktails. So the shrimp cocktail here, as you can see, this is not plated the same, right? Yes. So these are jumbo, extra jumbo shrimp.
Of course they are.
They also have a horseradish on top of it. That's the white that you're seeing on top of the shrimp. So you have that combined in with the cocktail sauce. Now, what I thought was pretty extraordinary about this bite is that it was such a big explosion of flavor as soon as you bite into it with that horseradish nose, but the horseradishes are different. So it's kind of, you're getting your like a tangy and then also a slight brine to it. So I really appreciated how that tasted. And then we also had the steak and frites. So you can see those jumbo potato logs there are extremely extraordinary. So just going back to Chef Jesse's background, he is a Michelin trained chef. He's worked mostly with meats and sauces. So sauces are going to be a huge component, and both Donald and Jesse stated how much the Low Country, especially Savannah, loves their condiments.
Yes.
So that is a very condiment heavy dish for any of the ones that you want to try as well.
Now we have about 15 seconds left, but I do want to mention that they say about 60% of their customers come in for special occasions like anniversaries and graduations. And this is a hint to my husband because he still has time because they do have this dinner for two.
They do. So you have the marble and fin experience. So let's just say you don't know what you want. You can do the marble and fin experience. It's $230 for two people. It comes with a 28-ounce porterhouse, or you could trade it in for a tomahawk. And then you also get a lobster that is broiled. So, I mean, you have the best of both worlds, and then you get those accoutrements as well. So you get those extra sides that you can wrap up in it.
All right. Thank you so much, Martina, for joining us. And you can find a link to Martina's blog, A Dash of That, A Dash of History, and this segment and any of her previous interviews on her website at wsav.com/Martina Alyssa Carsey. Sounds like a great dinner for you as well.